Welcome to Wind Down and Focus. We are Annette and Christina, photographers with over 15 years of experience in portraits, branding, and senior sessions. We're here to share everything we've learned along the way.
We focus on creating genuine, memorable moments through the lens and can't wait to bring you tips, stories, and behind the scenes from our photography journeys.
Each episode, we'll chat about photography tips, stories, and fun, all while sipping wine.
So grab a glass, sit back, and join us for some casual conversation, laughs, and photography goodness. Let's wind down and focus.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to episode 3.
Yes, wind down and focus.
Wind Down and Focus.
Third episode, we're back in the studio.
Yes, so our mics sound way better.
Yeah.
So we are talking about finding your niche.
You're going to say it.
Yeah, how do we say it? How do you say it?
I say niche.
And I go back and forth. I say niche or niche.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly which is correct.
Probably depends on your accent.
I guess so.
You know?
Yes. But I feel like we were in the same area.
We'll say different ways we say it this episode.
So I might switch it up. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so that's what we'll be talking about today. Then Christine and I both have different stories. So we're hoping one of our stories resonates with you.
Yes, definitely. We're coming at it from two different angles today.
Yes, definitely. All right.
Perfect.
So we're starting with our wine.
Yep.
So
right.
why don't you
let me
tell
take
me
it away?
what wine is? Yes.
All right. I picked out this wine this week. This is one that I've been drinking for a few years, and I really like it. We are drinking the Juggernaut Cabernet Sauvignon from California, and you can pick this sucker up at Total Wine for about $15. It's come down in price. I used to spend around $18 for it, so I don't know why it's $15 right now, and if that price might go back up to $18 or if it's $18 other places. But currently at Total Wine, it's $15.
Did you buy 6 bottles and get the discount?
No, I didn't. I only bought the one. It's actually, it ends in a 7. So anything that ends in a 7, you can't get a discount on. It's already at their like lowest price or whatever.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Good to know. Good
I buy more wine at Total Wine than you, evidently.
Yes, I didn't know that part.
So according to our lovely Vivino, the tasting notes that come with this Cabernet are oak, vanilla, and tobacco, seems to be a big one everybody gets, followed by blackberry and plum, and then ending with a leather, smoke, and earthy. So honestly, pretty much standard for a Cabernet and what you're going to get from that.
It was very smooth. I liked it.
Yes. We decided to pair it with, I read a smoked meat might go well. So I went to the grocery store and got us some cold smoked salmon.
Super yummy.
Yes. We've been snacking on that with it, and it tastes really good with it.
Yes.
As well. Yeah.
Now she can notice a little bit of change. I'm having difficulty.
And I don't think I'm that good either. My husband is way better than I am at tasting things and smelling the wine.
And
like,
getting the flavors.
Sure.
So if you have any tips, let us know.
Let us know. Maybe we'll just get better with it as we go on.
Yes. Because either my taster's off, but it all the same. It tastes great and it's very smooth. So if you're looking for a smooth cab, it definitely is
reasonably priced. Yep.
Reasonably priced. The bottle looks cool too.
The bottle's really cool. That's what drew me in. I like
a cool bottle.
Like a good well done bottle label. Yes.
Yeah, they make it. For sure.
For sure.
All right. So we're gonna get into our finding your niche. So I'll start off and tell you a little bit about myself. So I started in 2008. And I was doing everything. So I did everything from weddings, families, seniors, babies, maternity. And 20 years ago, high school seniors weren't quite the same. They've evolved quite a bit.
Definitely.
That's kind of like a mini wedding is what I tell them. Because you got to do the hair, the makeup, the clothing, the outfit changes. It's a big to do. 20 years ago, it was just coming around to where you're leaving the studio and doing that, but it was not quite where it is today.
Correct. Yeah.
So seniors became my niche. I love high school seniors because they are fun, energetic. They incorporate all their fun stuff and it gets very creative. I also work with businesses and business individuals, and I like them as well because it's kind of similar to the high school seniors because you're figuring out what they want, trying to create that image that they're looking for, and then
that represents who they are as a person.
Yes. Yeah. And so I do.
But on a business level.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're kind of the same. So those are my two niches that I actually love.
And a little different than Annette.
Yes.
Which you'll find out. So,
but you do amazing.
Oh, thanks. So do you. So I started my business back in 2010, so a couple years after Annette. And same thing, actually started out the same way, where anything and everything, if you needed a photograph of something, I was going to try it and I wanted to do it. And then I wanted to find out if that's what I'd like to do and if I wanted to continue doing it. And a few things that stuck. Definitely weddings. I still do weddings to this day. I still am doing them. I'm not doing as many as I used to do in previous years. Still, they hold a special spot in my heart. I love
You're good at weddings.
People in love
Yes.
and everything.
Yeah, you do really well at those.
It's a long day, but we talked about that the other episode. Yes. We don't need to get into that again. Families, one thing I love about photographing families is that, a lot of times I'm finding them, they're hiring me when they're having their first baby. And then I'm getting to photograph them and that kid throughout that first year of life. And then a lot of my clients, they'll come back to me when they have their second or their third. And it's just nice.
You grow with the family.
Yeah, and it's nice feeling, it feels like
part
honor.
of, yes, or you feel part of the family.
Yes, and I'm seeing all their kids grow up. But yeah, seniors, I used to only do like maybe 2 or 3 seniors a year. I never really sought it out or anything. I feel like the last 5 years, seniors, like you said, it's been really changing.
It's changing, and they're looking for that.
Yes,
they're looking for
that experience,
that dynamic change.
Like we talked about in the last episode.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been having a lot of fun with the seniors. Like to cater, as most of us senior photographers do, to if there's a sport that they focus on, or if they're in theater, or say they don't do anything like that, but they love to paint. I had one girl.
So you did some awesome painting.
Yes, she was a painter, and so I literally was like, "What do you think about painting your face?" Yes. And she's like, "Absolutely." So yeah, so
it's fun when they want to jump in and get involved with it.
For sure. So, outside of all of that, of course, I had to add one more thing. Why not?
Twice.
And I decided to start shooting pets about 3 years ago, I want to say. I always was photographing my own pets. But in terms of like, I wonder if I can make a go at this and actually make a live.
Which, I mean, you do have some photographic pets. So.
I do. They're pretty damn.
They are.
It's a way for me to kind of almost give back, because I feel like I cry too easily. Like I cried that Sarah McLachlan ad.
Yes.
So I can't
she's great at singing too, but yes.
So I feel like this is my way of giving back to the animals without it tugging so hard at my heartstrings that it hurts. Does that make sense? Like,
yes.
So,
and she's awesome at doing that. She goes out, donates her time, and actually she doesn't just shoot them. She creates backdrops and makes them look super, super cool. So you'll have to check that out.
There is a shelter near me in particular that I work with every 6-ish weeks or so. And we spend like 2 to 3 hours and go through all the dogs that they have on premise and give them nice, good animal headshots.
Yes. They're super cute.
Yes, for social media. So yeah, I just do a little bit of everything, but I enjoy everything in different ways. So we'll kind of go more into detail about that and why either way is not wrong. You just have to find out what works best for you.
And I think everybody starts out doing everything because they are looking for that one thing, or they are trying to figure it out. And let's be honest, photography is not a cheap hobby. So you're looking for anything you can bring in to pay for your gear. Pay off your camera, pay for new gear just to get to where you want to get.
And then all those things called bills too.
Yeah, the bills. You got to do that too.
Okay, so what do we want to talk about next?
Let's talk about niche versus variety.
Gotcha. All right.
So I like to niche down, and work with the senior and branding market and headshots. The focus has helped me stand out from other photographers in the area. I know how to target my marketing efforts. I know who my ideal clients are, and I know how to make them feel special
and valuable.
Yes, and then word of mouth referrals come from that. But niching down, it helps reputation and thriving your business. It just helps you focus on those two things, so you really can just dive in and give it your all on those two things. Where for me, that's what I love to do. I don't necessarily want to stay up to date on the wedding stuff. I don't want to stay up to date on the baby stuff. I don't want, I will do families because they're my people. And so my seniors, they all get a family shoot with their session. So that's kind of, so I still incorporate the families. I just don't advertise for it because my main focus is on my high school seniors and headshot and branding so that I can create those fun shoots for them both, whether it be just your updated headshot or your branding session that can be really creative and fun, such as your senior pictures.
Yep, definitely. For me, since I do like to photograph a little bit of this and a little bit of that, my perspective is a little different. I like to think that having to think about the weddings and the engagement couple, or having to think about the 2-year-old that needs their birthday session done, or having to think about my high school senior and where I'm going to take them to take their golf pictures. I feel that it helps me stay more on my toes and stay more inspired, because I'm constantly wanting to make sure that I am on top of my game. Does that make sense?
Right. Well, you're switching it up.
Yes.
You're learning new things with each different one.
Yes.
Which helps you grow.
And some of my shoots, I might get inspiration from a family session. And I'm like, you know what? That would work well to do over here, and, vice versa and stuff like that. So that kind of helps with that. So, but then it's also nice, I draw inspiration from an engagement couple showing, getting all that lovey-dovey kind of stuff in. But then I can kind of flip over and, then go shoot a senior at a school kind of thing, and they're by themselves, so you have to I figure out, like, okay, I have to switch the way I'm thinking. I need to photograph somebody who's solo by themselves versus a couple in love, where I can really benefit from them hugging each other and loving on each other and stuff like that.
Yes.
So it kind of keeps me just always thinking and always moving in a way that I think for my brain is beneficial for me.
High school seniors, and even with businesses or business branding, you're making them feel confident because they are individual.
Right.
So that's totally different from, you're making couples and families, but when you have a group, it's a lot easier. And then when you go to one-on-one, it's like, it's a totally different
It is.
game.
It is. And I'll definitely, if I've done 5 seniors in a row and then like, oh, I've got a family session, I have to really change my thought process, because I have to attack it differently. I have to be like, oh my God, we're going to jump up and down and blah, blah, blah for the little kid, versus I'm not
going to go the 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Get with it.
So yes, definitely. I have to compartmentalize sometimes,
right?
Which I am good at doing that. So maybe that could be a
good
reason for me why I like a little bit of everything. So yeah.
So there are benefits to both.
Yes.
No way is right or wrong. It's just what you prefer to do. And so I think we're going to kind of dive into that.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of niche versus diversity, or variety, or however you want to word that one.
So for me, my pros would be the strong branding and recognition. My brand, if you look at my website, it's very honed down to just seniors and branding and headshots. There is one section for family photos that is just a portfolio, but if you go to my website, that is basically what you will see. So that's part of the pro. So when they go to my website, they know this is what you do, and this is, okay, I'm in the right place. Occasionally I get those, do you do a wedding or maternity? I'm like, I can do those, but not wedding.
Not wedding, no.
Maybe maternity. I'll do maternity. Occasionally a newborn here or there, but it's not my cup of tea, and I will actually, pass a lot on to you, because I feel like they need to go with the person that actually is up to date with all that, and I am not. I have had several of my daughter's friends ask me to do their weddings, and I'm not up to date. You don't want me to do them. I can do a great job, but find somebody that's up to date.
Right.
And plus I'm going to enjoy the wedding.
Exactly.
So, and then just being have the experience in that specific area. So I'm building trust with my clients. They are understanding that this is my thing. I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to just really make sure they are confident and comfortable in front of the camera. And I'm going to pose them right. I'm going to find their location. I'm going to, all the things that they need for that session that they don't know they need. Okay. So I feel like one of the pros of niching down would be that, yes, my brain is constantly on seniors or headshot branding, and that's what I think.
You're giving all your energy to just those.
All my energy, yes. My marketing. I can't imagine because I spend so much time.
You do.
On social media, ads, everything. And it's a lot of time, unless you have somebody paying for them, which I do not, because part of me enjoys it, but the other part, it's not like such a favor. It is a chore. And I feel like if you're just throwing if you're just throwing photographer out there, it's really hard for somebody to know what you're doing. So I feel like for me, it's easier to say, hey, here's a high school senior ad, book your high school senior session.
Right.
Here's a headshot ad, book your headshot session. If I had to do a whole bunch of different genres, I feel like that would be a lot. So,
and I'll talk about that with mine, how that can be hard.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, that would be a pro to having niche down. Cons basically would be obviously a smaller client base. I'm not reaching out to everybody, but there's enough seniors to go around. There's enough headshots
Our
to go
school
around.
district has a lot of schools.
A lot. So Christina and I, we live right down the street from each other.
And there's plenty of people who need pictures.
There's plenty. Yes, we see that every day on Facebook pages. But there's plenty to go around.
Mhm.
And her and I both
lift each other up.
We lift each other up.
We lift each other up.
Yes.
Versus
we help each other
Yes.
out. We encourage each other.
Yes.
And if she has a shoot she needs help on, I'll come help her, and vice versa. So it's a lot of like, hey, how do you do this? Or hey, what do you think of this?
We both want to make each other succeed.
Yes.
Even if we might be photographing
the same
thing.
So that is a goal. I will step off the topic for a second and just say that if you're a photographer out there, just, help your fellow ones. That's where you were one day. So
just be a nice human being.
Yes.
Photographer human being.
Yes, exactly. Like, just help each other out. There's enough business to go around. There's no reason to be, I don't know. I'm all about love. So let's give back. So anyway, so that's one of the cons. Another con would be facing market saturation. So again, there's lots of seniors. We have a lot of photographers now in our area, but again, there's enough to go around.
There is.
So as long as you market yourself right, I feel like it's not that bad of a con, but it's still a con because you're not doing everything.
Right.
So you're not going to get as much business.
While there's plenty of work to go around, you need to be smart in your marketing so that in the pool of all the photographers, you're up higher than the rest of them.
Yes.
So they can find you.
So I would say the last thing would be when to specialize. So if you're passionate about a certain area, which I am, high school seniors or headshots and branding, or want to become an expert in that area, that's when you decide, this is what I want to do. This, like, you just know that's it. I don't want to do the others. My heart's not there. So that's when I would say, go ahead and specialize in what you want and really dive in and learn it and take off with it.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, the pros and cons of choosing to stay more of a diverse photographer, one of the biggest pros is I have a larger client pool. So I have more people that I can reach out to try to get that business, which is nice. But, it can also be a hindrance, which I'll have in my con here in a minute. It also, when there's like a slow season, like there's wedding slow seasons, but there's never newborn slow seasons. Babies are born all the time.
Right.
So where we live in the Midwest, where we have really horrible winters, people aren't wanting to have their family sessions. Seniors aren't wanting to get their things done, but newborn babies are still being born. And yes. So it is nice to have the less downtime when you have more options.
And she is really good at the little newborns.
I love the little baby.
They are sweet.
They're just so cute. They're so cute and so cute. Now
they're a long session, but they're cute.
Newborn sessions can be very long because I take my time. We don't rush it. Yes. We're on that baby.
Well, they got to have a feeding.
They have to have a feeding a lot.
Mom and dad get stressed.
Yes. Yeah. I had just go off tangent for a second. I had a 1-year-old a couple weeks ago that hasn't started walking yet. And so the legs are still really, really chubby. It's like my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
Right? Before
the chubby legs.
Before they're movable. They're so cute.
And,
okay.
That's evolved too, which that could be a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Says in itself, the way.
Right. Yes.
Newborns change.
I would say another pro is the crossover of my skills. I might learn a technique doing one style of photography that can then assist me in another style of photography. So it can help, keep me more versatile, which is nice. So those are the biggest pros I can think of for staying diverse. The cons, the biggest con is when it comes to the marketing, I know I have an issue where I'm like, okay, am I going to run an ad today on headshots? Or am I going to run an ad and focus my stuff on families versus like what you're saying, like you're like, I'm always going out there. I'm always like, okay, here's an ad for senior. Here's an ad for a business headshot versus I kind of have to pick and choose. I'm like, okay, well, I did a senior last week. What am I going to do this week? What am I going to promote this week? So.
And then you don't know if they see, because, they don't always see them all. So like the one you did seniors last week and you do this week, families.
Right.
Are they going to even see that you are?
Oh, for sure. For sure. And I have that worry all the time that am I doing it right? Am I doing the right thing? So
I think that's the different. Yeah, definitely the difference. Cause I think when I'm constantly out there, senior, people might get a little annoyed, but they know what I do.
They know what you do. Exactly. Yes. And increased competition, you do more. So there's more other people that do it too. So you're going to have more photographers that are doing what you do. All of the wedding photographers that are out there.
Yeah,
The
there's
wedding
a lot.
photographers are the really hard ones too.
I think seniors getting up there too, man.
No,
Everybody's
for
picking up
sure.
the seniors lately, the last 2 years for sure. But again, there's enough business going around.
Yep.
You just have to know how to market yourself and learn what you're doing.
So yeah, a good reason to stay diverse, or if you're trying to decide if you want to stay diverse, is to kind of remember that steady flow of work year round. You're not tied to any sort of peak season. You have a broader base of clientele, so you have more people to reach out to. But just kind of keep in mind some of the challenges that come with it too. So not everything is perfect.
It's not. I mean, we both try,
right?
And like I said, always help your fellow photographer, because her and I bounce things off each other nonstop.
Yes, we do.
So let's talk about how niching down impacts branding and marketing. So I feel like niching down on marketing and branding, niching, one of the two, it helps with your message. It helps narrow your target audience. It helps figure out the desires and needs of those that you're targeting. So for seniors, you're getting their personalities, making sure they have this unforgettable session. They're celebrating this journey to their, high school year. It's their next step into life and making their lasting memories. So you're helping with that. And then business branding, you're showcasing their professionalism and their personality and showing their brand through this strong, polished headshot and image that reflects their values. I think in that way, it impacts your marketing and branding.
Right. Yep. When it comes to my pet photography, when I decided to do the pet end of things, I was like, okay, this has got to be completely separated from my, what I like to call my human business, because it's its own animal, for lack of a better word, that needs its own branding, needs its own marketing.
Because they are totally different.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm marketing to completely different types of people.
Well, and it's hard to, which this again could be a whole nother episode, but it's hard to have a website and have a million things on it, because then people don't know where to go.
Exactly. And I already have the families and the wedding. So I'm like, I'm not going to add pets to that. That's just way too,
that's just too
that
much.
definitely is tipping it over to that too much
your
side.
branding, the difference between your branding with those is amazing. Yes.
I created a whole new business model with a new logo, but it's still a subsidiary of my main photography business. And then they have their own social account, and I will be launching a website. I'm using that same website that you use for our Why Not Focus.
PhotoBiz.
If
you do not have a website and you need a website, PhotoBiz is super simple, easy to use. I've been using it since 2008.
They can be a sponsor.
Yeah, they could. But actually, so I had side note, I had to call today because one of my buttons wasn't working. It was a CAPTCHA deal or whatever. But he said to me, he looked at our website, your main page looks really good.
Nice.
I was like, thank you. I did that myself because I've been using it so long. I know how to do it.
The ins and outs. So she's going to be giving me a little quick lesson when I need help for setting up my
It's amazing because we could do a whole episode on that, but like you can control your own SEO, all that stuff. So, and I have learned a lot over the years using it. So it's a very cool, easy to use website.
I'm excited to start to work with it because my other website is WordPress. I don't know if people really talk about WordPress anymore.
And then you have to wait for
but it's been WordPress since 2010, and I'm like, I'm in so deep. But I'm like, you know what? We're gonna start with the pets. We're gonna get that going, and then I'll migrate things over. So and then,
yeah. And the reason I keep the seniors and the headshots and branding together, it's only 2. And again, I feel like it's kind of the same. You're listening to their story, what they want to showcase, and you're creating this vision for them. Yeah. And so to me, it's kind of the same in one.
Yeah, they kind of complement each other.
Yes.
It's not like very black and white. Like, wow, you're doing 2 crazy different kinds of photography. Like, they make sense.
Yes. So I keep that under
a headshot's like an adult senior session.
Yes. It pretty much is. It's worth it. I said, it's a mini wedding.
You're only 18 once.
And somebody told me this recently, and I can't recall where I got this from. This will be the last picture that you get of your daughter by herself or your son.
Yes.
Because the next one would be when they get married.
Oh, sorry. I totally bombed that.
No, that's fine. But I don't remember where I heard this. Did we hear this at the conference?
We might have heard it together, or at least I've heard you say it one other time recently.
Yes. So, but it made me think that's really, absolutely true.
Absolutely.
So, it's worth the money. You got to spend it to get those lasting memories.
That's right.
Okay, so let's talk about our takeaways. So my takeaway is for those who want to fully commit to finding their niche, find your passion, do your research, be consistent. Your interests may shift. Mine have shifted over the years, and you can always adjust and learn and grow from that. But overall, you will learn no matter what you're doing because you are picking up the camera and you're actually trying to do something with it.
Yep. I hear you. Don't be afraid to try different things. You may decide that you prefer to have a niche, or you may decide that you like the diversity of photography and, want to do a handful of different things. But either way, just do what moves you the most at the end of the day. Whatever really speaks to you.
And invest in learning.
Yes, that is so important.
We both have over the years. I mean, there's Creative Live, there's Kelby One, there's we've been to workshops.
Man, I watched so many Creative Live, more than I watched TV back when I was getting my start.
Or even YouTube. I mean, just look something up and constantly learn and then apply it. Yes. Go, if you have a studio, go practice it. If you don't have a studio, that's fine too. Practice it at home. I start off as a natural light photographer, scared of lighting, which that could be.
I was the same exact way.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
But once you put yourself out there and you just keep learning, you have to learn and grow and change. And you also have to change with the time.
Yeah.
Because like I said, 2008, things are so different. I mean, you had your crooked pictures. Remember crooked pictures?
Wedding. What are you saying? That's my wedding day.
Yes. Crooked. Everything had to be tilted a little bit.
Yeah, they're all tilted.
Yes.
I have a couple straight ones.
Oh my gosh. That was the thing. And you could totally tell if you see a picture, I'm like, I know what
I know what range you got married in.
Yes. So everything changed. And there was a really high exposure part too.
Yes.
Where everybody overexposed a little bit too much and high contrast. It's just, totally, I'm happy it's going back to more natural look, but
yeah, agreed.
So just throw yourself out there, learn, don't be afraid to go to conferences. People are amazing at the conferences. Workshops are amazing. We're going to be having an amazing person.
Yes. On the podcast here really soon.
So we're not going to say who he is.
Not yet. You get to be surprised.
You have to be surprised. He has workshops and has had them in the past, and Christine and I went to one and it was amazing, and you will see him at a lot of the senior conferences around.
Yes. I thought we went a year ago. We went 2 years ago.
It was 2 years
ago.
Yeah. We both signed up for the free one, and I offered to bring him a cheesecake. So let's see if we have him on.
Well, then I said if I win, I'll have an bacon cheesecake to bring you.
Mind you, I tried to make him some gooey butter cake. We're in Florida, and I carried this little package of gooey butter cake all around.
We were seeing him every day.
We saw him every day, and then the day I finally have the gooey butter cake, he's never around.
Yeah.
So he never did get the gooey butter cake. So
next time.
But yes, so definitely invest in those workshops, invest in those things because they do help you grow.
Yep. They do. And at the very least, they're just so much fun.
They are a lot of fun. I think our husbands ask if we go there just to party or we go there to actually learn.
Or it's a mix.
We take nuggets. But we do have our fun. And you get to net. Again, I think we said that last time. You get to network with photographers. So
I walked away with so many new contacts from those two different groups of friends that you had that, they're not different. They know each other, but you know what I mean?
Right.
You met them in different arenas.
Different conferences and workshops. And when you have a problem, they're in your back pocket. You text them. They are willing to call you, help you. So definitely check all that stuff out.
Yeah.
It really does help.
It really does. It helps you stand apart from other people.
And grow. And again, just help your fellow photographer.
That's right. If somebody needs help with a setting, help them out.
Right.
If they're texting you, I'm at a headshot session right now and my camera's doing a weird thing.
That was me.
Can you Google this for me?
I had my backup camera and I had just bought it as a second camera, and I don't know what the setting was on, and it was not working.
Yeah.
And so
I got a frantic text from you.
Yes, I could not do anything.
And I was trying to understand what you were saying. I was Googling what I thought was happening.
But I was too busy to respond. I was like, do this.
It was
I was like,
I was not even
in the middle of it. Yeah. But I figured it out.
We did figure
it out. Yeah. But that's why you need these people in your back pockets, because
for sure.
You will hit that. You will run into that situation.
Yep. And it's nice to have a good friend to fall back on.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So I guess,
All right,
are
yeah.
we pretty much done?
I think we are.
Number 3?
Number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes,
And
we hope you enjoyed it.
like I said, our next one's going to be, you're going to want to check that one out.
Tune in.
Yes.
We're
So
excited.
Stay tuned and you will definitely.
And we've got no more traveling for the near future. So we're stuck with these nice microphones for a while.
Well, we are going to Shutterfest. We can take these because we don't have to fly with them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you don't know what Shutterfest is, check it out. It's a conference in St. Louis and we will be there.
Yep.
We will do one from there.
I think this will be year 11 and I've been going since the second year.
Yes. So this is my 4th or 5th.
You started going over 2020. I don't want to say the C word.
Yeah. It's 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
It's one of those, but we've had a lot of fun. So,
yes. Yeah.
And again, the classes are great. So if you haven't bought a ticket yet and you're close, go ahead and buy a ticket for it.
People come in from all over the place.
They do.
Yep. It's a lot of fun.
We just have to drive.
We just have to drive 45 minutes, but we stay down there because
we stay down there.
You want to stay up late and hang out and stuff. So
yeah. And network. That's a thing. Yep. Hang out, go to those after evening events and network.
Yep. 100%.
All right.
All right, friend. Cheers to another episode.
Yep, let's go. Yeah, that's right. Cheers.
Cheers.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Wind Down and Focus. We hope you had as much fun as we did. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode full of photography tips, stories, and of course, some laughs.
Thanks for hanging out with us, and remember, whether you're behind the lens or in front of it, keep having fun and capturing those unforgettable moments.
Catch you next time as we sit, chat, and focus on what makes photography awesome.
Before we go, can you do us a small favor? Go online right now and share this episode with one friend who you think will love it. And while you're at it, we'd love for you to leave us a review. It really helps us reach more photographers like you. Also, don't forget to check out the show notes. We've got a free guide waiting for you when you subscribe. It's called 5 Ways to Get More Photography Clients, and it's packed with actionable tips to help you grow your business. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time on Wind Down and Focus.